Hello and welcome to Project Fear episode 9, where we, us paranormal investigators, Lucy,
Hello.
and myself, Chris, we wrap up this series by hoping that you watch the episode, the official episode, and then coming back and listening to us witter on. But this last episode, Lucy, was an unusual one, which has some people going on the little keyboards and being very angry about, while others enjoyed it. So, this is the latter half of the episode we talked about last week with the sleeping arrangements at Indiana State Sanatorium. A lovely location, a massive location, and one that seems to be open to the elements in some places.
Yeah.
That's going to be the problem, isn't it? That you can't secure these places a lot of the time.
That's it. Yeah, because they're so big, even if
Yeah.
you did a sweep, you could miss something easy.
Easily, yeah. Alex chooses the sleep positions. Dakota's back up in his little rocking chair room, and Chelsea's in the nursing home. Tanner gets to go back down to the tunnels, and Alex is in the main sanitarium. All spooky places, I would say. So as they were walking to their locations, they hear a crashing sort of noise and possibly a person running, which the difference between a paranormal odd noises and that, it's difficult to say. You take their word for it, don't you? Do you think a real person is worse than a spirit?
Probably. If you don't know who they are and they're just sort of hanging out there, sounds mean to say, but like some unsavory characters might choose to live there or get up to no good there. So you don't know their intentions, and they're way more likely to harm you than a spirit is. So yeah, I think humans are much scarier than spirits to me. And the noise that they heard, that first one, it was like a noise with intent. Like it did sound like a human. Because with spirits, like they said, sometimes it's like faint noises and then there's a gap and then you'll hear it again. And there's not necessarily any rhyme or reason. But with a human noise, it's more like you think, oh, that sounds like someone standing up, walking across the room, running down the hallway. So then you start to worry, don't you? So, yeah, would you be more scared of a human?
Yes. Yeah, because when you know stuff like demons and all that and how scary it is, but we're like, yeah, but the demons don't ever really do it to us.
No.
Is the demon. You know, nothing really goes that bad. So when you thought you saw a homeless person enter the abandoned farmhouse we used to do, you freaked out. You were like, someone has just walked in and walked out of the room. And the fear is that you're going to have to communicate with someone who's really high on drugs, either irrational. Yeah, just, and I don't like that. I don't really get scared of ghosts as such, but humans, yeah, I struggle with. So the REM pod was blipping straight away in the tunnel. It looked like we were going to get some fascinating electronic activity down there.
Yeah.
So then we get Dakota showing us how dark it is. Because I was thinking he could probably see loads in the dark, right? And luckily he pointed out that you can't. You know what, Lucy? In the dark, you can't see anything. And without that example, I would have been completely barking up the wrong tree.
Do you know what though? I said yeah. When he did it again, I said to Colin, I'm like, Chris is gonna be fuming. But then the only thing I could think was, we were thinking if someone's watching it in the bedroom at night before they go to bed and they're getting in the mood and they're freaked out and whatnot, and then they turn the camera, like they show you the darkness, that would make your bedroom go dark or your living room, wherever you're watching it. So I suppose that could be good to amp up the fear for the audience, because you're thinking, no, put your camera back on because now I can't see anything. So
we haven't got a lamp on.
Yeah, it's probably a mood setter, but it is funny. It is.
Yeah. Chelsea says this is so unsafe. You got to remember that they're turning their torches off. It was decided that Tanner was going to make everyone not have a torch. And this is the last episode, so I can see why that would be an interesting idea. But Chelsea does say it's so unsafe, and I thought, yes, it really is, and not from a spiritual way. What dangers can you foresee with not having a torch?
It could be something as small as like an animal coming and approaching you, and you don't know what it is, so you don't know what you're dealing with, because right down to the thing I envisioned was that she could be sat there and a real human could walk right up to her and she can't defend herself because she can't see what they're doing. Can you imagine? And then even if she did have a torch, to then turn it on and someone stood there, that's the freakiest thing ever. Like, that's what I'd be the most scared of, not having a torch, because your torch is your comfort. Even if you don't turn it on, knowing that you've got it makes you feel just that little bit safer.
Yeah. I was worried about the like in those buildings, there's always bits and bobs and boxes, fall trip hazards, corroded metal that's twisted into spikes that you could fall into, holes in the floor, just endless things that I was like, that's too far. Wandering around safely, if you like, slowly is dangerous with your torches off. But it's not something I would sort of condone, really. But like you say, it's like if there's somebody there in there, you'd imagine that they've got to walk around in the dark unless they carry torches. A homeless person, for example, has balls of steel to go in that whole building on their own.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, what if they're a bit high or something, and they're literally hearing the four of them talking away, thinking, oh my God, I'm hearing ghosts. Perhaps they're getting up to leave. And Dakota's like, I can hear someone getting out of bed and moving. Yeah, well, yeah, they can hear someone without imagining it.
Yeah.
In that building, you'd be out, wouldn't they? They're not ghost hunters.
No, yeah, that's it. I don't it must be so scary sleeping in places like that and having to sleep somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it comes to something when you have to choose that.
Yeah.
But also, when you see all children have been in, teenagers with spray cans and writing crap, it's like, that's what my first instinct was, that there's going to be like 5 teens, just having a laugh, not knowing anyone's filming, just breaking in. But yeah, it didn't seem like that at all, did it?
No.
Yeah. So then we do hear, I've put Tanner walking calmly here. I don't know what that means. Dakota's footsteps to hear real slow. It was horrible. I'm like, that's creepy.
Yeah.
And then Dakota's hearing noises often, and like I say, it's hard to know whether they were oblivious to Dakota or they could hear them. So yeah, so I think Dakota then must have buzzed Alex and said, I think there's someone in the building. And Alex and Tanner, all run and then grab Chelsea. Again, in torchlights running through those buildings, pretty dangerous. But yeah, they got each other's backs. They start to run towards each other. It's obviously a thing of a real person in there with them is a danger.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really like Tanner carrying a weapon and saying, I've got something that will put someone in a hospital. It's like, you could find a teenager and then club them. I just didn't like it.
I did think it was funny when he was trying to snap it in half and he was struggling. It's one of those, it's fight or flight, I think, isn't it? Because they won't have wanted to leave because they wanted to figure out what it was. But then you have to decide what avenue you're going to go down of how you're going to confront this human. And I think they were, you could tell they were torn between aggression and just talking. That's why he did the, talking nicely and counting to 10 and all that. You could tell how much pressure they were under by how they were reacting to it.
Yeah, sort of saying, come out and all's all right, while holding 2 stabby objects in your hand. It's like, do I come out? I don't really know. Yeah. So yeah, the dangers of investigating other than, asbestos. What else is there? Just nails hanging out of the walls. There are dangers, aren't there? And I guess no matter whether they've got a TV crew with them or not, you can't police people coming along and being on your location.
No.
And it was a bit of a sad way to end, in a way, because especially with the title saying somebody was in, we don't know. Even the audience I've read comments on are like, well, they didn't find anybody. Yeah. But other people are like, well, there's obviously someone there. But, what do you think? Was someone there?
I got the vibe that there probably was somebody else there. But it's weird that they didn't come out. Or, because they sat afterwards for quite a few hours just listening. You'd think that they would hear more if it was a human. I don't know. It's really hard to say, isn't it? And like, it just shows that anything can happen. But it does then make you think how much of it was paranormal. All of it could have been,
Yes.
or none of it could have been.
Exactly.
But I like that they're showing the real side of investigating, and again, it goes to show their integrity, because a lot of people would think, oh, it's a season finale. Let's, the temptation to fake something might be there, but they showed what actually happened to where they thought there was a human. I think they're thinking it was a person. But I still enjoyed, even though they were running around looking, well, I suppose they do, they look around for ghosts. So, even though they were running around looking for a human this time, the drama and suspense was still there for me. So I enjoyed it all the same.
So I guess we end on overall impressions of this first series. I've really enjoyed it personally, and can't say that I've missed anything. It's slightly frustrating in one sense that you're not getting more locations, but this is the first series, and obviously to get a series out thick and fast, you're going to get yeses from the places you've been before.
Yeah.
And so, but what will the second series hold? The question has been asked, will it be more repeat things? I don't know. I've not seen anything. Have you?
No, I don't know. I think they'll try some new places. It's probably hard because there's so many teams doing similar stuff in the States. So it'll probably be locations that other people have done before. But either way, for them to go for a first time would be nice to see. Yeah, and I think they clearly work very hard, because it looks like this was filmed in a short space of time. And they looked exhausted at times. So I think, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They're great. I don't know whether it'd bother me really if they did repeat some locations from maybe any point, probably not from this season. But yeah, I don't think it'd bother me, because I think you can turn up to some places and maybe the spirits are more active on another night. Who knows? You could go to a brand new, really haunted location and nothing could happen. So yeah, and obviously we see that they get a lot of stuff when a spirit has history with one of the team.
Yeah.
So that's a plus of going back to the same places.
And like now, everyone can see what Project Fear is, and so you can go to a new customer and say, check out us on YouTube. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And Fear Gear merch. The community is there in one way or another, even if they're there just to complain about it's not how they want it to be. But overall, I think it's been good and onwards and upwards, and I still think this could lead the way for other programs to think, you know what? Why are we, doing in railroads with a TV company when we can just do what we want on YouTube?
Yeah, and they can bang out seasons so much quicker on YouTube. Like, I've heard it's going to be October. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's only a few months. If they were still on a channel, it'd probably be at least 6 months until they even really started filming, maybe. So I think we're very lucky that they've gone to YouTube. And like you say, I hope some other teams do the same and we get more.
Yes, more of the same, please. I know they're having a bit of problem with the subscriber thing still. They're on about dropping the company that has given them all this grief by not renewing subscriptions. It's not worked very well. And so they were saying, look, does anyone know somebody else? They say they're going to fix it, but if they don't, we're just going to have to... It's just growing pains, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll say that's a really good thing in my experience is I ordered some merch probably 5 weeks ago, and it's only just shipped, but in the space of that time, they kept me really up to date, saying, we're a small company that are doing this, but, trust us, we're going to get it done in the time frame we said, and they have. And they seem like really great people, so I haven't minded waiting for my merch. But yeah, I am part of the Fear Club, and I got a message saying that they weren't able to take my payment, even though they didn't try. So I was a bit confused. I was like, what? But again, it's like you say, it's growing pains. It's just, they'll probably find someone better to do it. At least the merch company's great. They'll find someone else onwards and upwards. We'll still buy it. We'll still subscribe. We'll still be here. So
yeah, I'm definitely on board for more. So I guess we end the series there, and I just thanks Lucy for coming on this journey with me together and chatting.
Thank you for having me.
It's been good, hasn't it? So thank you to everyone who's watched, and we will look forward to speaking to you again for the next season.
Yeah. Thank
See you
you.
later. Bye.